And welcome back to Arguably Awesome Podcast. I'm your host with the most, who likes to eat French toast sometimes, a card, and the sidekick who don't take shit, Airflow Gaming. That one made me giggle. I tried to hold a straight face on that one, everybody. I make myself laugh. And I rented out Jerry Seinfeld's apartment for the episode. So thank you, Jerry Seinfeld, and everybody else over at Seinfeld Cast. Um, yeah. We
And
can
I'm
see
on
the music
vacation
here.
in Vienna, so
Oh,
that's where I'm at.
nice. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
podcasting from afar. Today we're taking a dip into the metaverse of video games. It's going to be a little bit of nostalgia and a little bit of modern. So yeah, some of our episodes might go dip into both nostalgia and modern. For those of you who can relate to what we're talking about, those of you who don't, maybe you should check it out. These games that we're about to talk about. Yeah. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Airflow. He's ready.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Today we're going to have a little bit more of a focus. Last episode we were just kind of helping you guys get to know us a little bit better. Excuse me, guys and gals, and non-binary because we're cool like that. But today we're going to be talking about video games, some of like our first experiences with video games, some of the video games that help define our love and dedication to the medium, and some of just some of the impactful moments from video game history, and gonna try to cap it off. I mean, since we mentioned the metaverse, to maybe start talking about some of the future of gaming and where it's heading and how we feel about that.
Yeah. We should plug where we're being streamed now.
Oh,
Almost
okay. Wow.
forgot.
So today we are using Zoom. We tried the podcast and it was okay, but as you might have seen in the YouTube video, there were some complications with the footage, and that was a little hard to deal with. So
Yeah, I was
um,
so disappointed when I heard about that. But you know what? At least half of it was I'm there.
I know, dude. I definitely was not trying to like cut you off, but there was this weird like speed buffer issue with the footage, and I could not like recover it. I at least got it back for you to show off that Cobra Starship
Yeah,
iPod, which was super sick, but oh,
thank
disappointing.
God. So yeah, but that and before I forget, where can our listeners find us now?
Ooh,
Since
so
we've
excited.
branched out now from the root.
We've had so much time to get everything out there on those different directories, so you can now find us on Apple. Well, we're submitted to Apple Music, but the process takes a little bit longer, almost about up to 2 weeks.
But we will be
We're
there.
already listed on iHeartRadio. We're already listed on Spotify. We're already listed on Deezer. I want to say Player FM. We're on Pocket. What is it? Pocket Cast. There's a few different places that we're at. At this point, I'm almost losing track
Some
of where we're
places
at because
I've
there's so
never
many
even
places.
heard of. It's like some of these I haven't even heard.
I hadn't heard of Deezer before, or like I think the other one's like Slicker, or
Deezer I've heard of. I swear it's, or maybe I'm thinking of Geezer or Weezer. Deezer, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. Our ears will be everywhere, or our
yeah.
mouths will be.
Once we get uploaded and fully submitted to Apple Podcast, then there'll be even more platforms that will be spread out to as well, which will be pretty exciting. I mean, you're going to be able to pretty much like pull us up on Google, and the YouTube will be there, and then different podcasting hosting sites will be there as well, like Podvine. I got a claim code from Podvine, so we got the podcast on there as well. Honestly, it's been an exciting experience, really, because never knew it was. I mean, I guess simple, but that it could be so simple. Like I thought it was pretty difficult, really, but they make it easy. Like for instance, me and Anthony are using Buzzsprout, and Buzzsprout helps you get your podcast out, and they just make it easy to get your RSS feed, which is how you plug your podcast into different hosting sites, anyways. and it's really simple. You can even copy your channel's link back into Buzzsprout so that they help you keep track of information from your listing there on their page. So that'll be really cool to see how that turns out in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Exciting. I can't wait. Let's get into the metaverse of video games. And then we have that big master what's that guy from Tron? That the master NPC, he comes in and says,
Mm-hmm.
the metaverse of video games. That's supposed to be the spinning head. That's all I could do.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yes. I want to talk about Tron and Kingdom Hearts, but we'll get to that later. What was the first video game you ever played, and what console was it for? Let's see. I want to say, I'll say Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. Nintendo. Babysitter gave it to me. Her son didn't play it anymore. This was the late 90s, before I got my PlayStation in 99 from my sister for my birthday. Cliche, I know. Super Mario Brothers, original.
Hey, you know what, man? None taken. Like that's one of my original video game memories, man. Mama took us down to Value Village back when that was still a thing, and we went and got the old NES, and I played, Mario and Duck Hunt, Track and Field. We also had Kirby, the one Kirby that was on there.
Yep.
It's a beautiful system. It was a fun system, and I definitely have many good childhood memories on that bad boy.
Kirby was one of my favorite Nintendo games. I think there was only one Kirby game for the NES before Kirby Land, Kirby Adventure, Kirby something. There were a lot of Kirby games for the Super Nintendo, but Kirby was one of my favorite ones. I beat it twice. The ending is hard because you try to beat it before you get smashed at the end because the level starts compressing in. I don't know, something like that.
No, definitely. I remember playing the old. I want to say it was Nightmare Dreamland.
Oh, Kirby Dreamland. That's what it's called. Kirby Dreamland for the Super Nintendo.
Beautiful, man. Those Kirby games were a lot funner than people give them credit for.
They were colorful and fun. I liked it. It was fantasy. Whatever.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of fantasy. Shoot, speaking of which, man, you ever play like many of the Final Fantasy games? I know everybody's like, oh, some of my first game experiences is Final Fantasy JRPGs, and I gotta be honest with you, man. The one that everybody talks. Oh, whoa. Camera spazzed out for a minute.
Oh, the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man.
Wow.
A lot of data trying to be compressed there.
Yeah, we're just too high quality for this.
But yeah, I never really finished Final Fantasy VII on the original PlayStation, and sometimes I will admit it makes me feel like I'm not a real gamer because everybody's like, oh yeah, you're not a gamer.
Have you played them?
I've played them, like just like the one that everybody always talks about, or like I haven't really played all the way through. There's some that like I played at friends' houses because I didn't just have like all the video games.
I remember in 2005, there was a kid that lived in my apartments that I became friends with in middle school, right across the street. And he had a PlayStation 2. I had one too. He had Final Fantasy, one with the guy on the front with the blonde hair, the yellow jacket. It's like Final Fantasy 10 or something. I don't know. But he was swimming underwater. I'm like, this is so boring.
Well, Final Fantasy X, it was a good one, but for me, like, yeah, I got to a certain point where I was like, I think it was like right when the like Terrorist Act is supposed to happen, when you're playing like that ball, the Blitzball tournament, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't.
Oh yeah, a lot of random side
anymore.
games.
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the graphics for like, especially when they got it on the Vita, like weren't bad at all.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting all over the place, man. Tell me, did you?
Well, I'll continue the Final Fantasy first. I thought it was boring. I'd never thought anything highly of Final Fantasy. I know all you Final Fantasy lovers out there be like, "What? How dare you?" You're gonna give me some rude comments. I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't my kind of RPG, and the only RPG I'd played before that was Super Mario RPG, and it was horrible. Some of you might say it was great for the Super Nintendo. No. But the only Final Fantasy game I have played was 7 Remaster for the PlayStation 4, which is completely different, I guess, from the PlayStation. Because I checked it out and it's like a 2D map thing or something. And this one they did redesign 3D, like third person. And I had a blast playing it as Cloud. I got to know these characters more that I met in Kingdom Hearts crossover. And now I get to see them more. And I'm like, dude, I need to play part 2 of Final Fantasy VII, which is only for the PlayStation 5, and I don't even have a PlayStation 5. I want to play it, but I think that's going to be the only one I really like, to be honest. Final Fantasy VII is going to be like my go-to.
I heard that the remake for Final Fantasy VII was actually really good, but they
Yeah.
split it up into parts. So part 2 should be coming at some point. Forgive me for not again
I
being on
thought
top
it
of
had
it.
already come out, but I guess it hasn't. It's kind of been stalled. They're kind of perfecting it. You should have downloaded it when it was free, because I did that last year. Oh, no. I think it was earlier this year that it came out, or in Christmas, 2021.
I luckily did add that to my library. I'm just
Yes.
need
Dude,
time.
play it. Play it. If you got a PS5 now, right?
Hell, oh yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Your girl bought you one.
Because I
Lucky.
got a sweet lady.
Maybe my wife will buy me one. Maybe.
You
Because
just
I
gotta
want to play
suck
that
up to her enough.
Hogwarts game. I know the Hogwarts game's coming out for PS4, but yeah, I'd rather play that kind of a game that's awesome with better graphics for the PS5.
That
We're little
Hogwarts game
nerds.
looks like it's going to be incredible.
I know. I've been wanting a game like this. You can basically play everything that was in the movies, but it's kind of like your own adventure this time.
Did you ever get to? Sorry to jump back now to the old
No.
school. Did you
Yeah.
ever play Track and Field for the old NES? It was the one that had the gamepad you could plug in directly, and you could do like the 100-meter dash, or like could do the hurdles.
Are you
But it
talking
was
about
like a
like
dance.
gamepad that had like the stick and the 2 buttons on the side?
No, even more like a game. Well, a different type of gamepad. How about that? It was like a Dance Dance Revolution pad, but instead of having like arrows and stuff all over it, it just had like all these different sensors in it, so it could track you like stomping your feet and running across the pad, and it would transmit that data into the NES,
Oh.
and you could make a little character on the screen jump a hurdle and all sorts of like cool stuff. I would do like the high jump, or stupid stuff like if you look up some footage on YouTube of someone playing that, man, it's pretty
Really?
awesome.
That's almost like the Nintendo. Well, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna butcher this. There's like a Nintendo Olympics game that's really rare to find. Uh, it was what they used in the Nintendo playoffs when kids would go down to Cali or something, or Orlando, and do these competitions. And it was strictly for there, and they sold it. It's like a gold disc. But no, I've never played it. I was really picky on what games I had. I was. I mean, I had Rocketeer, and that was bad. But only thing I had was the joystick with the 2 buttons, and then the controllers, and the duck hunt gun. And maybe you're in France, but you're really in Austria? Where were you again? Venice?
I tried to say I was in Vienna, but I don't know where I'm at anymore now. I'm having too much fun with these filters, man.
Oh, man. See, I can't do that on my computer. It's not updated.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Hey,
pretty
look
cool.
at now I'm playing VR. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
What was your favorite game, though, for the NES?
NES favorite game. Honestly, probably that damn Kirby. I think that was
I'm going to
one of
agree
the
with you.
first ones, man, where you could actually suck up opponents and absorb their powers. I want to say
Yeah.
that was one of the first ones where you could do that, and that was so awesome. That was such an incredible innovation to the game series that
I,
it can't be beat.
Yeah, it can't. That one is, I mean, they'd say, oh, Zelda, oh, Super Mario, but it's games like you don't hear too much about the Kirby one. Um, I do have an emulator that I think I tried to send you. Wow.
This is only my second one.
So yeah, that emulator, remember I tried to share with you the emulator so you could play all these Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation games?
You're not
It's,
talking about RetroArch, are you? Or RetroArch?
I think I tried sharing you through Gmail a year ago, almost a little over a year ago, maybe. But I have a lot of emulators I downloaded, like ROMs I downloaded for NES, Super Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and something else. I had to download NBA 98 for the PlayStation
Mm,
1. That game
that's good.
and MLB 97 or 98, those two games I would always play that basketball. And I'm not a basketball playing guy until I downloaded 2K20, 2K19 for the PS4, and it just brought back memories from those old
Oh,
PlayStation days. But Kirby, we should go to the next one. Super Nintendo. Did you ever own one? I did for a little bit.
I want to say that I always ended up playing the Super Nintendo at other people's houses.
Yeah. Usually how it was, the guy
Unfortunately.
who had the Nintendo, you got to go to his house. Mario World was my number one. Super Mario World was actually the first game, I think, for the Super Nintendo. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
Oh, hold on, real quick, 1 second there. I'll be right back.
Yep, go for it. And we're rolling.
Sorry, just sorry, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Breaking the illusion here.
I know. Whoa! Ah!
Are you
I
are you for
fell
real?
forward in my. You have to keep that in there. You have to keep that in.
What?
Wow,
What?
another funny moment.
What is wrong?
First we have the prank call, and now we have me falling. Oh, I'm not really in Seinfeld's house. How could I lie?
Oh, whoops! I guess I lied about where I'm at. I'm not really on
I
vacation.
should probably turn on my light too.
This guy. Oh my gosh, it's so unprofessional, man. Jeez.
Good. I don't think it's too bright. Oh, it's not too dark. That's good. I think. Ooh, maybe.
What? Oh wow.
Dang it! I need to turn it all on because that green screen ain't gonna show. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better.
Is that the Aurora Borealis? That's so cool.
Wow, the Northern Lights. There we go.
Just kidding. I'm on the beach, brah.
This stupid chair. I fell forward. This little what are these little lounge chairs or something, or that you can fold and unfold? Damn chair.
Wow, dude, that's kind of unfortunate, bro. Took a hell of a spill.
Oh, Jerry's gonna kill me. I spilt wine all over the floor. Super Nintendo. What was your favorite game? Mine was again Super Mario World.
Super Nintendo. Oh yeah, definitely Super Mario World. It was Super Mario. Was that Super Mario World 2 on that one?
Yeah, Super Mario World 2, and I didn't discover that existed until 2002. Like almost 10 years after it came out. Actually, I think it was like 95 it came out. I forgot. Yoshi Island. It's called Super Mario World 2 Yoshi Island.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little bit weird because of the art approach to it, but it also was different, so it was kind of interesting.
I definitely like the difference in art style. I mean, as a nerd who like watches like the animation jumps between seasons, like I'm like, oh dude,
Oh,
check out the art, bro. I'm like, well, the art just got crazy. Check out this new season of Mario, dude.
did you ever watch the Super Mario Super Show on TV?
Oh,
It's the Super Mario Brothers.
no, I
Dun,
don't
dun,
think I did.
dun, 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 dun. And the fat guy, you got the skinny guy. I loved watching that. I actually have one of the VHS tapes.
Sounds like I wish I would have. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Should I go grab it?
Oh, the VHS.
Yeah, I got the original artwork.
Huh?
Here, I'll go get it. And this is where Eric stops it and does some flashy thing and zooms me back here and faster than a speeding bullet.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right, guys, watch. It's gonna be like so quick. I'm just gonna snap. It's gonna be like 3, 2, 1,
Hi.
and he's back. All right.
All right, I apparently I have two of them, but one of them, Super Mario Super Show, right here, baby.
Nice. Nine.
Mommy, what's it called? Mind your mummy, mommy Mario. Your mummy, mommy.
Jeez, and I
Mhm.
thought arguably awesome was hard to say
You gotta. Oh, it's a little.
because your green screen's trying to take it off, and it's glare. So much glare.
No. Oh well. But yeah, it's by DIC Deek. Two Super Mario Super Action Adventures. Oh really? Oh, True Colors. Okay, whatever. And then I got this one, the Magic Flying Carpet. Little Super Mario
Nice.
Super Show logos right there. And then I found these.
You got, of course you would have
The
your
raisins.
California Raisins VHS still.
I
Did you
know.
find that somewhere in the Seinfeld's apartment?
I did. And then I found this. Paul Rudd let me borrow this
Oh, nice,
because, this is
nice.
where he dies. in the,
Mm-hmm.
in the Paul Rudd again. I've had this for a while. Probably had this almost 20 years now. Wow. Got it from Flea Market. That's where I found all my video games for the NES and the Super Nintendo. Flea Market. Really cheap back then. You want to get these games now? Expensive as hell. What was your first handheld? Did you ever have a handheld? First handheld I played was obviously the original Game Boy in 97. I played it on and off before that, but I took it on a road trip. My mom's coworker's son let me borrow their Ninja Turtle game for it. I was on that thing like nobody's business the whole road trip to Cali. So long, but I had that, and I had to make sure the battery didn't die. And
Mm-hmm.
then years later, oh, I guess not that many years later, but it seems like a long time. I had the Game Boy Advanced. I had the purple one, the little long one, and then I bought this little light for it. And then I had Super Mario World for that because that was the first game they put out for the Advanced. And then I got an SP silver one, flip open. I still have my game for it, but I don't have the SP unfortunately. And I had WarioWare. WarioWare was a great mini game. I love the WarioWare games.
WarioWare was pretty awesome, I will admit. And that, and when they started doing like the Wario Land games from like Game Boy Advance to Game Boy Advance SP.
I never played Wario Land. I'm aware of it. I knew of it. See some ads for it. I still have a
Oh man,
Nintendo magazine that shows Wario Land in it. I think it's Wario Land 4.
that's a classic. That's one of my freaking faves, dude.
The,
It
the
was
Nintendo
so
magazines.
good. No, the Wario Land 4.
Oh,
It's
okay.
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
they're
Hell of a
pretty
game.
good. Yeah.
I am super fond of handhelds myself, man. Especially the Nintendo variety. They really know how to do handhelds right.
Yeah, you had quite a variety of handhelds when we met.
Actually, that's kind of true. Back in the day, I started out. I remember begging my parents for the Game Boy, not even the Game Boy Color, but just the original Game Boy, and they surprised me on my 13th birthday with the green one, the old school green one, no color, but like I got to play all the original Pokemon games on there, and that was enough for
Yep.
me, man. Everybody was playing Pokemon around me. I
Oh
had to
man.
play Pokemon. I needed it.
I remember people were all about that. They would have the yellow Game Boy Color. What was the
Mm,
the slogan? Get into it. The lips would
get
come out
into
and they get
it.
into it.
Damn, I
It
forgot
was
all
pretty
about that.
cool. Everybody would want the yellow one too. They'd want the yellow one because it reminded them of Pikachu.
In the yellow one, there was either the regular yellow or there was the yellow that it's like I think it was a more gold tone and it had a sparkle
Yeah.
to it.
Didn't they have a green? I know they had a red one.
I had the dark like emerald green, but as far as like a sparkly one, I think they had a red sparkle, but maybe they did have a.
And it helped they had the screen light up too, so you could see at night when you're playing under the bed covers if your parents think you're sleeping.
Oh, that took a while though because remember the we I don't think we got backlit screens until like the Game Boy Advance.
They had them for the original Nintendo Game Boys.
I thought
It,
you
it,
had to attach a whole like screen with a magnifying glass and a flash on there to get that kind of action.
the one I had,
Oof, this bug bite's
I
getting me.
strongly remember that was used. This was like 20 plus years ago. So the one I remember, it you just flip a switch and it turns the screen on, and it's of course it's like gray background with black pixels. But
Hmm.
I do remember what you're talking about. I do know. And it kind of magnified the screen too. This little attachment you put on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now
I
everything's VR, so
oh gosh, tell me about it. Um, dude, speaking of handheld, still, I had the the PSP back when that was a thing. Oh man, and they had those proprietary UMD disc, the
yeah.
Universal Media Disc.
Weren't we? I remember you could buy DVDs, and I remember the last time I saw your Vita, we were watching Attack on Titan at my house. We
Oh
were sitting in
yeah,
the
and
movie theater seats, and they just showing me the show. I'm like, what is this show? Because I just couldn't understand it. But then I watched it. We were watching a lot of episodes, and I actually liked it.
Attack on Titan was one of the most wildest animes I had been introduced to at that time. I forgot you were still living here at that time.
I'm still
Oh
here,
yeah,
unfortunately.
that was wild.
Not for long though. Okay. The third console I ever owned, well, it was the NES. I mean the Super Nintendo, but I would say that was after I had the PlayStation. But the next one I had was the PlayStation. In
Ooh,
'99, my sister got it for me on my birthday because I loved it so much, and I wanted to play Crash Bandicoot, so I got the Crash Bandicoot Team Racing with it, Tomb Raider, and Spyro the
I know that
Dragon.
my pops had original PlayStation, so most of the original PlayStation stuff that I was doing was definitely on his. But I did own the PlayStation 2 at least. And so
Okay.
while I was playing some things like the top down Grand Theft Autos, back when those were a thing, when you were playing in like Britain, which wasn't
Oh,
bad. I
I
mean, top
still have
down,
never played that.
a challenge, dude. The Grand Theft Auto game and in GTA Online, where you can play the little arcade games in your penthouse, those are modeled after that old school style of playing Grand Theft Auto,
Oh,
and
really?
it's mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
On Grand Theft Auto, the new, the
the
almost
current,
10 years ago game, right?
yeah, almost 10
Well, I
years
mean,
ago.
that's pretty new actually in the last few years. So they keep adding on to these games that are almost 10 years old.
They're like
Wow.
never gonna quit. It feels like they're just like
Not
gonna
until the
keep
next one
milking this
comes
cash
out.
cow. Not until people stop paying for these damn shark cards.
I did once. I'll be honest. I did. I dived in once,
Oh, of course we all do.
but it
We,
wasn't the expense like too expensive one. Maybe $100. I forgot.
yeah, man. When
Or
it
maybe
comes to like
50.
shark cards, we all take a little key bump once. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't even play the game now. I haven't played it in a while since we last played it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of bummed because when I upgraded my character to the next generation, I lost all my old generation friends. So well, not friends. I didn't lose them, but I can't play with them because I'm on the next gen, or I'd have to restart a whole nother
Oh
character.
my god.
I'm not feeling
Uh,
that. They
did
lost me
you
with that one.
ever? Did you have you played the new remasters of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro?
They're on my download list. I played the Crash Bandicoot one at a friend's house, and I saw someone playing the Spyro one. I just,
Yeah,
you know, geez, maybe I'm not digging this feeling of nostalgia anymore. Maybe I'm like nostalgia sick.
your
Uh,
nostalgia burnt out. I
Nostalgia burnt
know
out.
so many things are being rebooted, sequel, coming back. Roseanne has a spin-off show. Oh man, it's crazy.
Everybody wants to
Uh,
tickle your nostalgia gland. It's just like, and it's like,
but it never hits home quite the same. Few have, but not many. I thought the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, Insane trilogy, and the Spyro trilogy were great. It brought back some memories. It also feels new, but the levels are the same, and some of them have been redesigned. They also made. You remember the medieval game where you play this as this knight, a skeleton knight that comes back from the dead or something?
I remember
Medieval. It
medieval.
yeah, but it's spelled like spelt different than the actual word. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I always spelt it wrong in school. I saw they also remastered the first one. I was so tempted to download it, but I never did because I played a demo.
Really, I did actually see that. Yep. Yeah.
Because I played a demo of the second one where you're in a museum or something. Because we're on PlayStation, I might as well get into it. The PlayStation Underground magazine. It would show you all the upcoming PlayStation games that are hot or coming out soon within the year.
Hey, bud, how come you're shaking
Sorry,
so much?
sorry.
What's
I,
going
I
on,
I
man?
have ADHD and I'm bouncing my leg and I'm also going like this. So, but yeah, sorry.
I was wondering. Look, there's an earthquake in Seinfeld's house, but only located in
Whoa.
your personal
Whoa,
space.
dude, Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's crazy. No, the PlayStation. Yeah, the PlayStation Underground. We didn't know each other back then, so we didn't play any of that. But I had like almost 10 Underground discs. And I know one of them had Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. Amazing game. I love the Spider-Man 1 and 2 Enter Electro games for the PS1. The best.
Mm-hmm.
My number one for PlayStation, by the way, the PS1. There were so many games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I love that franchise. I still have some of them, most of them. Yeah,
Have you
those
played the
underground discs are
reboots on
legendary.
those?
So have I what?
Have you played the Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes?
I thought about it and I tried to look up reviews for it and I not so good.
Yeah, I heard some pretty middling stuff about it as well. There were
After
other things I was trying to spend money on.
Yeah, after Project 8 came out in 2005 or 6 for the PlayStation 2, I heard that Downhill Jam came out, but that was like for a handheld. And I'm like, oh, that's the end of Tony Hawk. There's going to be no more pro skaters after that. And they tried, but it just doesn't hit the same. I love the secret characters. Great stuff. Love the weird levels.
I can understand that. You still got love and respect for it. You just
It opened my mind up to hip hop, rap, hip hop and rap. No, hip hop, rock, and punk music for sure. It expanded my musical taste.
I see what you're saying. There was just a lot more that the soundtrack had to offer that kind of helps expand your
Oh yeah,
horizons. You were like,
made it
oh, I
fun.
definitely wasn't listening to this before. You're like, Too Short? Who's that? You know?
Too short. Bus driver. I used to be able
uh,
to do the song, and I forgot the lyrics now. It was really fast.
oh, wow.
I know I
Impressive.
memorized MC Hammer's "Can't Touch This."
Memorize it even.
Yeah, 20
Gosh.
years ago, man. Come on, I was obsessed with that song 20 years ago.
You want to talk
Like
about
10
weird
years
side
after it
notes?
came out. Oh no, it came out in 90, I think. I forgot.
That's
But yeah.
hilarious.
What uh what was your PlayStation 1 go-to?
PlayStation 1 go to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely love me some like Spyro. Spyro was pretty classic. I mean, Crash Bandicoot's pretty classic too. I mean, that's why I feel so disappointed I didn't even play the remakes yet because the classics were they had me hooked. Those ones were really good. I mean, they just had these like charming characters, that dry wit that was just slightly above what a child would be able to understand. They really did justice with those series, and I, you know what, I feel almost a little bit ashamed here.
Hey, but guess what? Spyro didn't have what Crash Bandicoot had. KB Toys and Toys R Us sold the action figures. And I
Mm.
had some with the little TNT box, the Juju fruit. Uh, I had a Crash. I think he was the one wearing the dive suit and a jetpack.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yes, yes.
At least the toy
Ooh,
that I bought. And I have the Uka Uka or the Aku Aku mask still.
old PlayStation throwback. Okay, my
Okay.
my all time favorite, and I think it was a PlayStation 1 disc that I was playing on the PS2, but it was Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of my all time favorite
Never played it.
JRPGs, dude. It is so incredible. I think I tried to tell you this at one point, but we figured we'd save it for this episode.
Yeah, I
But
do know the Symphony of the Night set music. It's really orchestrated.
there's like some orchestral stuff, and then there's like a little bit of like MIDI, like guitar stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's like good, such a good soundtrack.
Almost like Mortal Kombat. What is it? Deception. Sounds like that. 'Cause I saw a whole playlist of that. I know what you're talking about. It sounds very electronic.
But man, like what made this game so alluring was one, vampires, but it was like vampires and werewolves and ghouls and zombies and the actual personification of death and like just all this stuff going on, and like you're trying to stop your father Dracula as his son Alucard, who is Dracula backwards.
Yeah, that's like a Monster Squad reference because that's the guy's name in the 1987 film too that moves across the street.
Mm-hmm.
A la carte. I'm like, really? Okay, that's original.
Oh, of course, bro. But I mean, it's such a good game. There was like nothing you did. I mean, it took popular vampire lore. Well, my glasses are kind of getting a little wonky there. It took popular vampire lore, and it built gameplay mechanics based off of it. Like, not only
Yeah.
could you arm yourself with like armor and trinkets and things like that, but then you could like arm yourself with different transformations and like spells, mystical artifacts that gave you abilities on top of the spells you'd already learned.
Yeah.
um, the ability to transform to like as a mist and float through a wall. That was like, that's some cool ass shit. Never
What
seen
game
that.
was this? Castlevania.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I played the original one for the NES.
Oh,
And
you
then I
played.
played,
Whoa.
wait, is it
There's an older
Castlevania
one. Yeah.
or am I getting that confused with something else? Then there's Super Oh,
I
then
want to say
there's
the
Super
Super Castlevania.
Castlevania. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. And that game is hard. Hard.
God bless you
Ghosts
for
and
trying to make me play
Goblins are
that.
hard too. It almost seems similar.
That's fair. That's fair.
I didn't
So
play those until I was way older though.
you probably played the one where you're playing as Richter Belmont with the whip, then
Yeah.
whipping all the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hiya!
Ah.
That's one of my freaking favorite classic PlayStation games. I mean, I wish there were more things you could play like with other people, like more multiplayer. I mean, not multiplayer, but like couch co-op, I guess. But I
I
mean,
miss a lot of it seems multiplayer now. I miss single player. I know where I'm gonna go to when we get to the PS4 for sure. What we in PS? We're not even. We should get into the PS2.
oh yeah, we can just jump right into it, man. What's one of you? Well, I already know what you're gonna say. Should we just should we just say it together? Unless you think I might be wrong here.
Oh, okay. I think I know what it is, but I have a number two as well. Okay, let's go. One,
Okay.
2, 3.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Yes,
Dude,
Kingdom
one of
Hearts.
my fucking favorites. Woo!
I stumbled upon it. Oh man, I gotta tell the story again because we had to save it for another time. So I got the Treasure Planet mini PC disc that was being sold through McDonald's when Treasure Planet came out in what 2001? Yeah, yeah. So it was a year before the game. So I click on the disc. I noticed there's a video file, QuickTime file back then. Um, and I'm like, Kingdom Hearts. What is this? What is this? So I click on it because I'm curious and nosy. I watch it. I hear the do 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 do, and I'm like, oh, sparkles and fairy dust is coming out of the air. I was like, what is this? And then I'm reading the description, like to find yourself. I don't know what the tell, but it was very what's in line with the story and the premise. And then I see this little boy, and then they're just showing the best bits of it, where you're with the Simba, and then there's Mushu coming out, and then Dumbo, and all this. I'm like, what in the world kind of game is this? This is a baby game, because you'd think it would be, but and then I see you're fighting all this stuff, and I didn't know Final Fantasy was in it at the time. But I look at this, I'm like, man, this game is badass. And this was like 2001. So I totally forgot about the game until I got a PS2 2 years later. I buy this game. It's the first game I bought. No, I had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Oh, no, 2. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 because he plays Darth Maul in that.
Oh, nice.
And then I got the Twisted Metal Black, amazing game. And then I finally go to GameStop, whichever one was down on 181st. Game Crazy? I think it was GameStop.
Oh, I miss Game Crazy since you just brought them up. Damn, that's a memory.
And that's where I got Kingdom Hearts used. And I wish I have number 2 still, the original. And I let my friend, this other guy, borrow number 1 in Vice City, and I never got it back. He sold them. He thought I gave it to him. Amazing storyline. Brought a tear to my eye at the end because I just gone on this adventure, jumping into each action scene from the movies. You're becoming part of the story. It's
I actually am so glad you brought that up because I love
speechless.
movie tie-in games, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about right now, dude. Starting with one of my favorites, Spider-Man 2. Incredible
That
movie
was my
tie-in
second
game.
one. Yes, that's amazing. And they have Tobey Maguire and the other cast. JJ and all them playing the voices in it, and in the third one too.
I thought
I
that
think
was really
in all
impressive.
three of them, right? The first one too.
I think even the first one, yeah.
First one was kind of shitty. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie. It was fun, but it was kind of like, yeah,
I looked
it
at
was a
footage of it,
starter.
dude. Wow.
I played it. You can play as Green Goblin at the end, which I thought was pretty cool. It moves too slow though. But yeah, continue with number two, Spider-Man 2.
I just thought that after playing some of the earlier Spider-Man games, I mean, you played a few more of the earlier ones than I did. But after playing some of those earlier ones, man, I just thought that they really nailed the feel of what it felt like to be your
Yeah.
favorite childhood superhero. And like they had everything in there from like the Rhino to Mysterio. I mean, you pretty much fight almost the entire Sinister Six, I think, in that movie.
Almost,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and it's just like they really gave you like a fan servicey type of experience. You go to the Statue of Liberty, you climb the Empire State Building, you do a bank fight scene. I mean, there's just so much that they packed into this movie and stayed true to the plot that you kind of actually felt like, damn, I am Tom McGuire Spider-Man.
They actually had a villain in there called Calypso. She's like from, I would assume Africa because of the accent. Uh, Causes these spells and everything. I mean, they named Calypso. And I got her confused with the Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean that was out at that year because it looked and sounded just like her. I'm like, wait, is this the same chick? So I'm all on the internet. Is this chick in? I don't know why I was,
I can't
but
remember.
she was a villain that's only accessible in the multi. No, no, not multiplayer. They don't have that. In the arena fighting you can do in the warehouse where you can fight
Mm-hmm.
multiple villains, try to get achievements.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? It was kind of cool.
I want to
Then
say,
the swinging mechanics.
I think Calypso's like tied to Craven the Hunter. Is that right?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't done my Spider-Man lore in a long time,
Scritchy
and I was
Switch.
a big Spider-Man fan in the '90s and 2000s.
Mm-mm. Love me some
The
Spider-Man.
mechanics of the web swinging though, you got to admit those were fluid. It was like nothing, like butter.
And sure, you might have had webbing kind of attaching to like just near buildings, just outside of the camera, so you could tell they weren't like attached to the building, but it still like was close enough that like if you were far enough away from a building, it wouldn't catch. So that was kind of cool. And they introduced the air tricks mechanic where you could like do different flips and spins and stuff like that. And like
Yeah,
that felt really great because it was like getting to those acrobatic roots from like Spider-Man's, spider like reflexes. They did a great job implementing the feel, and some of these newer Spider-Man games have captured that timeless feel, and even some have improved upon that formula to give you a really solid experience. But I definitely will say that earlier on, like that was probably one of my favorite Spider-Man
yeah.
games, and definitely number two for the PlayStation 2 era.
Oh yeah. I mean, play Spider-Man 3 for the PlayStation 2 really gave you more. We got to fight Morbius on top of a roof.
You got the
I was
black
gonna say
symbiote
Craven the
suit.
Hunter. We fight the lizard for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, you get the symbiote suit once you collect all these Spider-Man emblems, right? Yeah.
Either that or it was like I want to say meteorite fragments.
Yeah, meteorite fragments, yes. Yeah, you can't. I think I got all those too. I had to use GameFAQs at the time. That was the thing you go to for cheat codes, and people would make their own walkthrough. If you can't get the strategy guide, they would do a walkthrough to be revised, revised, revised. Like you gotta go for the newest one. I did that for Kingdom Hearts before I had the strategy
Oh
guide.
my gosh, you just reminded me of the revisions for Game Packs.
And then they would use the fonts or the code the letters to design the keyblade or something. I'm like, what the heck? How do you have all this time on your hand?
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, when you're sitting there pretty much doing what a game tester does for free in your mom's basement and, you want to help you want to be that guy, that helpful
Need
guy.
some credit, right? He's the guy that
Hmm.
did that. We'll go to his GameFAQs. But yeah, those were really helpful. And they didn't have pictures. So if they're telling you it's right behind the corner next to this thing, I don't know how I did it, but I was always able to find it on any game I was looking for. But then they started putting screenshots. But you could buy
Screenshots
a
were a game
strategy
changer.
guide, but not all strategy guides would would tell you what you're trying to look for.
I used to
Um,
get pissed at buying strategy. The internet blew up Strategy Guide's game, by the way. Internet
yeah,
killed the strategy guide. Like, killed it. But I used to get pissed when you buy the strategy guide, you still couldn't find what you're looking.
I know. I used to have the Spider-Man for the PS1, the strategy guide. Both of them, I don't know where they're at. I might have sold them for money at Game Crazy. I sold everything at Game Crazy when I had the PS2. Oh, speaking of that,
Yeah.
Matrix. The
Ooh.
Matrix. Enter the another movie tie-in game. Enter the Matrix and Matrix Path of Neo. You could play as Ghost because you had to help me with that. Ghost and Nairobi. Two different. Some of them had two different extra levels that the other character didn't have. Game didn't age well, but it's still fun as hell to play.
I thought that it was interesting because they almost played like some of the events that Path and Neo would have taken you through from the movie, but like from different perspectives. And so I
Yeah,
was like, huh. Like, isn't there
it's
a scene where like Ghost and Nairobi are able to kiss Persephone, the Merovingian's wife, instead of Neo? Like, I feel like
yeah.
that's a thing. And I was just like, what? Wait, what?
Well, for it to be a movie tie-in game, if you remember, we would see because Nairobi and Ghost were new characters, I think, being introduced. I think for Reloaded.
No,
Um,
they were in the first one. Well,
oh, that's
yeah, maybe
see,
not
because
so
I haven't
much
watched it
Ghost.
yet. I still haven't
Ghost.
watched the first one. Slap me now. I know y'all are gonna comment. I haven't watched the first one yet, and I own it. I own all three.
You haven't seen the first one yet? Oh, I could just
Only the
reach to
part
this
where he
camera and
shoots
choke
up
you.
into the sky at the end.
The
No,
very
okay,
end of
you're
the.
right. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. They're in it because it's in the cover. I saw it. But it at certain scenes of the sequel, Reloaded, they're jumping in out of nowhere. So the game kind of ties in what they're doing behind the scenes when they get to certain other scenes that are in the movie. So you're like, oh, that's what they were doing before they got to the semi scene where Morbius is fighting somebody on top of the semi trucks on the highway. Oh, and then they got there. That's how they did it. So it's kind of cool.
I thought
And
that was awesome.
can you explain the Vlad the Impaler, how the vampire world is fitting into this Matrix code?
Oh,
I thought when you told me that, I didn't know shit about that, and I thought it was interesting.
absolutely. So I follow a page called Matrix Explained, which is actually where a lot of where I got some of this information. But he deep dives into the lore behind the Matrix, and what this particular bit of lore is the Merovingian is a master program from a previous iteration of the Matrix. Some rumors speculate that he maybe might have even been a previous version of the one, but some others say that that's not quite the case. He was just some other
Yeah,
powerful sentient program. But it got to a point where they were getting ready to erase the version of the Matrix that he and some of the programs that were following him were in. And at this point, I believe it was a medieval type Matrix where there were vampires and werewolves and other types of mystical beings, which the guy further explains. Well, since the Matrix is off of based off of human subconsciousness, it was like some sort of like plane of pain, basically like a torture realm version of the Matrix. But it was being scrapped, and basically there was a few programs that hid out in a pocket of the code with the Merovingian, refusing to be deleted, and they were reinstated in the next reboot of the Matrix. Hence why when they go to see the Merovingian in his club, you see all those flashes of like, people doing all sorts of like crazy, sometimes arcane looking things. The reason why like some people when they were fighting in that underground parkway went to kind of like bare fangs, almost like they were like kind of like vampiric. But long story
that's
short,
kind of cool because we wouldn't know that
I,
unless they told it
I
straight
wouldn't have
up.
guessed it. I wouldn't have guessed it at all. I think it's made prominent in like Matrix books and comics maybe, but I wouldn't have known that. Like, I guess they kind of hint at it somewhere in the Matrix Online MMORPG game back when that was a thing, which I never got to play the Matrix Online video game, which now I'm really sad because it's just not a thing anymore. The servers are gone. Um,
Oh yeah, I know. Path of Neo, pretty straightforward. It's just Neo doing what he did in the trilogy. It's like the trilogy in one, and some little extra stuff here and there, backstory. It's really fun. Scarface and The Godfather were pretty fun. Like it's like a what if game for Scarface. Like what if he didn't die at the end and you get revenge on the people trying to kill you, like Sosa and all those others. I loved it, like Vice City almost.
I think that's a really good idea too. If you were to do a spin-off game for a character who dies in a movie, spoiler alert, I guess if you haven't seen Scarface.
Yeah. Spoiler: he didn't die, even though he did in the movie. No.
All right. But I think that's a pretty interesting idea. They're like, oh, what if? And then it's like, whole movie.
What were some other
Genius.
games for the PS2 that you enjoyed? I remember playing Shinobi when the first Shinobi game for the PS2 came out. It was kind of a big thing in 2003. I played that and Spawn Armageddon. Loved both of them. Didn't know
Mm.
shit about Shinobi until like 5 years ago that there was a NES game. It's been around since that long.
I definitely didn't really play much of the NES game. I played
Yeah,
I think I played
I didn't
Shinobi
either.
on an arcade cabinet for the first time. I think I played it on like
Okay,
an arcade cabinet.
that's true. It was an arcade cabinet game. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Should we move on to the PS3?
I'm ready to jump to the PS3.
I'm waiting to get to the PS4 because I know I want to talk about Control at some point.
Absolutely.
PS3, Force Unleashed for me. Is it the Force Unleashed? Well, I mean, of course, I love the Tony Hawk games, but that's PS2 days. Legendary. PS3 Force Unleashed, 1 and 2.
Um, Absolutely wonderful game. Like seriously, I thought that what they did with the character of Starkiller, played by the wonderful Sam Witwer, loved him in Being Human and a bunch of other different projects. Um, that one Stephen King movie where everybody died, the Mist, great. Yeah,
Oh, he was in that? I
he's
actually don't know anything of his except him playing Palpatine and Starkiller's voice.
he's the guy who they stab and throw out of the store when they realize that the army was the reason why all the bad stuff was happening. They're like, "Oh, sacrifice him to the monsters," and he's like, "No, wait!" And they're like, and he's like, and then they throw him out the building. He's like begging them to let him in, and then he gets unalived, and it's just
Oh
not
my
good.
goodness.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I thought he for his acting chops, I thought he was doing great. I was like, okay, look
He
at
is pretty
him.
good.
He gave a lot of like emotion in the scene, and it got me.
Do you know this ties into the game? It also ties into Battlefront 1 and 2 for the PS4. Do you
Okay,
know Chad Vader? Remember
I remember Chad
Chad
Vader.
Vader? Yeah. The guy who plays Chad Vader's voice, he designed the voice to make it sound as close to Darth Vader as possible. Him and Sam Witwer play the voice of Palpatine and Vader.
Hmm.
So Chad Vader plays Darth Vader's voice in the Force Unleashed and in the Battlefront games.
Oh, seriously?
They both play Palpatine in both games as well. And I was like, huh? Chad Vader? I forgot the guy's real name, but he plays the voice of Vader? I mean, they probably saw him on YouTube, thought he was pretty good.
That's pretty good, man. That's actually not
It,
bad at
it's
all.
it's great. And I did love the Battlefront games. I forgot to mention that for the PS2. Those were iconic. I remember the commercials.
I
It
didn't end
really
up playing them until you brought me over to your house to play them on your old PlayStation. I was
You
like, damn,
had to.
that's
I
incredible.
had to let you. The Mortal Kombat games were. I didn't bring up those. The Mortal Kombat games are legendary. Deadly Alliance was my first Mortal Kombat game to own. Loved it.
I remember you brought up Deception. That was a pretty good one too.
I don't have it. I sold it, but I have Armageddon and Deadly Alliance still. I need to get Deception back. I thought that was a great game where you could meditate and somehow travel through time. You can get days go by.
Let me see, PS3. I mean, I
Grand Theft
definitely
Auto is
liked.
legendary. We don't
Grand
need to
Theft
talk
Auto.
about it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, definitely don't. I personally huge fan of anime still. Back then, it was even worse. I played all those Dragon Ball Z games, Like Dragon Ball Z Budokai, Budokai 2, 3,
You brought one
Tenkaichi
over to my
Budokai.
house for the PlayStation 2. You were
I
wondering how I was
remember.
kicking your butt one time, and I don't even know. I'm just bro, like
Oh, you're over there.
you're like, how you doing this? Stop
I
doing
I
this.
sometimes get surprised when like button
An
mashing proves
amateur
to
comes
work.
out.
Oh yeah, because it's like that person who's like, oh, I'm gonna box like this, and then they don't they won't have a chance. They won't have
I
a chance.
know, I know. That's pretty much what I do. I'm gonna fight for my life. I hate button mashing because it's you got to learn all these special moves for these. I have actually gathered a nice set of anime games for the PS4, but
Nice.
man, it's like you have to do this and then I'm like, oh, and I do the training now for my One Piece and my Dragon Ball Z's and my Jump Forces.
I think I oh man, I didn't play Jump Force. I played Jump All Stars, and that was a long ass game.
Jump Force is a pretty long ass game, and so is this One Piece and Dragon Ball Z games I have. I have Kakarot and Dragon Ball Z something.
Do you have the Fighter Z?
Oh, I have Fighter Z and
Nice.
Kakarot.
Okay.
I haven't even started Kakarot yet, and I downloaded it almost a year ago.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Damn.
Woo!
Damn.
If we're on from the PS3, let's just go right into the PS4.
The only thing I guess I have left for PS3, I think this is still the same era, is Borderlands. Fantastic first person shooter. Couch co op and online multiplayer. Pretty sick.
Never played it. I watched our mutual friend Leland play it at his house,
Oh yeah, yeah.
or we'd be watching Next Generation. Don't ask. It was
I
we
like
just
cel shaded
randomly meet
graphics.
up. Yeah. I remember I saw a thing on YouTube where there's a robot in Borderlands that has a lonely birthday party.
Oh gosh, Claptrap's birthday party. Yeesh.
It seemed very sad, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so sad. Nobody came to his birthday,
I know, and he bought all those pizzas too. Wow.
and he's a robot."
Yeah. I think he mentions how futile that was of him to do that. Gosh, damn. All right, you can go ahead and
PS4.
jump us off.
I'm gonna go right into it. My favorite game for the PS4, I thought was. Did I have a favorite game yet? I don't think so. But Control. My friend told me I should download it. It was free last year, so I downloaded it. I had a blast playing that game, and of course it's in English, but the English in Horizon and in Control, it just sounds not. Sometimes you think dubbing sounds weird, but this is actual language of the game, and I had to change it to German, and it sounds legit like a. It made the game much better to play when I have German and I have French for Horizon. It just works like that. Sometimes you got to listen to it in original Japanese, whatever game it is. For me, Dragon Ball Z, I love it in English dub. It works for me. It works.
That's fair. That's
Um,
fair.
but the control, I didn't know what it was about. You're just in this FBI facility or just special agency or something that does like investigations on supernatural, somehow tied into the oh, what's that game? It's a guy's name. I told you about it. It's a tie-in.
Come on, you can do it. Huh?
I am going blank.
It's called
it's
Alan
incredible.
Wake.
Alan Wake. It's connected with Alan Wake, so I'm interested to see where the sequel of Control 2 takes place. But the monsters, the weirdness, the possessed objects, it's just bizarre and hard as hell. And if you get the DLC, get all of them because there's a Japanese one where this Japanese, I think it's the guy who did Metal Gear, designed a level
Oh, nice.
that you just walk through. It's a walkthrough. You don't have to fight anything, but then you go through this subway. You have to look it up. I could just talk hours for this.
No, it's Control is a fantastic game. I still got to upload that clip where I was talking to you on the party chat while I was fighting Reverse Jesse. But
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's hard.
being
I
able
died a few
to
times.
oh, that one was brutal.
Don't you hate it? Before you continue, don't you hate it when you're about to shoot, and like right when you're trying to dodge, they shoot you. They shoot this burst of shit that goes everywhere at the last minute. And it gets you barely, and then you die.
Yeah, you're like, I think I got it, and then it's just kind of like a fire extinguisher, a desk, an office chair, and like a water cooler come flying at you out of nowhere, and the water cooler tickles you and you die. It's pretty disappointing.
But it makes you determined. You're like, I'm gonna beat this bitch.
Yeah. As far as the PS4 is concerned, I think that about covers that there. What's one of your worst video game memories you can think of, man?
PS1, 1997. I think it was 97 because that's when the Spawn movie came out, right? Ah, shit, I forgot.
Something around there. Yeah, I want to say.
It was the Spawn. No, sorry, not the Spawn game, but that was a shitty game. I'm getting that confused. Evil Dead for the PS1. Yeah, Evil Dead. It has, if you've ever played The Crow for the, what system was that? It was some system I can't remember the name of. The camera angle was similar to Silent Hill, where you're like over here and you go this way, and the camera angle is like high up in the corner of the room. You're like, where am I walking? Where am I go? And then I turn this way, and the camera angle changes again. I'm like, I'm gonna die. And they're just, monsters just keep spawning out, and I'm like, what's the point of this game? Like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do?
That was one of the worst game mechanics ever. It was like a fixed camera angle. Oh god, I hate those.
Yeah, in different parts of the room where you walk, or they don't have a description what you need to do. Like, how are you supposed to?
Oh, you just start searching and picking up stuff, and eventually you'll figure it out, I'm sure.
There's probably even worse games I played, and I just can't think of any right now. It's the list could go on, I'm sure. What's yours?
I was definitely going to say that for me it was that freaking RoboCop game from back in like 1998. I mean, I only ended up playing it years later, but man, I didn't think it would really be that difficult, and I don't know if it was just like a me issue.
98?
I want to say it was 98.
Oh, you played the game in 98, but it wasn't made in 98.
No, I think the game was made in 88 actually. It was even older.
Oh, yeah.
That game was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was old. I forgot.
I was gonna say there was a RoboCop game back then. Dang, in '98.
No, you're right. I probably played it in '98. Oh God, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, you both played some old NES games in the late '90s.
Between that and like an old Batman game, I want to say for the NES as well. They had a.
Oh, the one with the Joker's face on it.
Yeah, dude, that game was the game.
I had that game.
I could not get
Joker's
past.
Revenge.
Yeah, struggled.
I tried. I wanted to fight the Joker. I had to watch gameplay on YouTube years later just to see what the game was like, because I couldn't do it.
Just to be satisfied.
Ninja Turtles was also a hard game. But if we're talking about hard games that are hard to complete, but yeah. What else do we got? What do you want to? What should we ask next?
Well, now let's get the rinse the taste of horrible video games out of our mouths.
I spit on your grave.
What's one of your favorite video game franchises, or just a franchise that you followed for a long time?
Ooh. It sounds bad that I say I don't want to say this because I want it to be something epic. But I guess Mortal Kombat. I've been following Mortal Kombat since 2003. I know the game Deadly Alliance came out in 2002, but I had a PS3 in 2003. So I had that, Twisted Metal Black, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And that was also one of the new games I got. I got it from Game Crazy. I got all my games used, discount price. If they're in good condition, why not?
I used to love trading games.
I remember the commercial because it got me into Mortal Kombat when I saw this commercial. Because I knew about it from Sega. I knew about it in the 90s. Didn't play it much until this one. It had Quan Chi and Scorpion fighting. And then at the end, he's like, get over here. And he's shooting out the green skull of Quan Chi. And it's like, no! And I'm like, dude, this game looks awesome. Because it was 3D. This took Mortal Kombat to a whole new level from the shitty-looking ones from the PS1. And you can see a lot of those videos in the secret vault of the Deadly Alliance graveyard.
Yeah, I thought that they
awesome
did a really good job with those. Actually, that's a really good series. So
yeah, and the new one, Mortal Kombat 11, and the DLC were epic. They brought some of the movie characters from the 90s movie into this one. Shang Tsung from the 90s. He's Shang Tsung in the... I was like, what? Get the fuck out. Mariah Carey, get the fuck out.
Oh my gosh. Wow. No, they've done a really good job staying faithful to their series, and like the level of creativity It's really awesome. And then when they do get a little less creative, like when they borrow from other source material, like it's always fun, like having
Yeah,
Rambo versus RoboCop in Mortal Kombat universe.
they have Terminator in there too now, so you can have Terminator versus RoboCop.
Pretty sick, just like the video game.
And the original actor of RoboCop plays the voice. That's pretty cool.
Murphy, freaking love it, dude.
Yeah, I thought the storyline, even though because it was 2019 when the game came out, I think 2019 or 2020, and a lot of time travel is going on because of Endgame, the
Mm.
Infinity War, Endgame, Marvel thing, time travel, being able to alter timelines, it became a big thing. So Mortal Kombat was doing it. Shit, there's other games and movies doing it too. Kind of, I forgot, but I can't think. But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely.
And aren't you glad to say you're alive to say you went to see the Infinity War Endgame,
Oh,
one of the
dude,
biggest movies ever?
incredible, incredible. There's gonna be babies born after us who won't be able to
Oh, you
say that they
saw
went to
that
theaters to go
movie?
see that. Oh my gosh, what? I remember when I went to go see Avatar.
I remember seeing Star Wars Phantom Menace in '99. That was a big deal too back then.
Hmm.
Okay, what do
But
we got?
a video game franchise basically that I've had my eye on for a long time, I would say is gonna be like the Ratchet and Clank series. Um, they had some really great entries like Up Your Arsenal, Deadlocked. There's a few that I'm missing, but I need to get caught up with some of the newer ones like Nexus of Time and
Okay,
some of those other ones because they're really the reboot was pretty good honestly, and I could see them
really?
moving in some really great directions.
Didn't they do? I always got them and Jack and Daxter confused because I remember playing Jack and Dexter for the
It
PS2,
was pretty much like the
the
same
second
era.
one. Wait, was it the second one? Jack and Dexter 2, and I thought it was pretty fun.
It's pretty much the same era. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
really
kind
love
of
it.
like they were versing each other to see what buddy duo thing could. It's almost like the 2006 and 2005 movies, The Prestige versus The Illusionist. Is
Mm-hmm.
like, is it the same movie? But
Oh,
it's great actors, both great movies. But could they tell them apart? Both magicians.
oh my gosh,
But
dude.
yeah,
Well, here, let's try
oh
to wrap this mammer jammer up here.
yeah.
Let's jump into the future a little bit. What are some of the? Oh, hold on. I'm sitting here talking about jumping into the future. Let me, let me really jump
I'm
into the
gonna jump
future.
into the computer again. No, that's all I'm gonna do. No!
What?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna fall on me? Oh no.
All right.
Uh,
What are some of the things, brother, that you're playing on like console, computer, like just even your phone? What's
I
interesting
don't
you?
play PC games except Pajama Sam and Pup Pup Goes to the Moon. But console right now, I'm playing PS4. I'm playing Horizon 2. I love the first one. Downloaded that when it was free, knew nothing about it, which was great. I wasn't gonna like it, but I did. And we love the Red Dead series. That was my first online experience was with you 10 years ago playing Red
Mm-hmm.
Dead Redemption. It was great. TNT flying everywhere. I still remember it.
Epic.
Uh we're not playing that or Grand Theft Auto much now, but yeah, Horizon 2. Uh, what else am I playing? Oh, Evil Dead, the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play that often. I barely played it, but it's not one of those games that keep dragging me in there. I like single player games mostly. I don't see a lot of those anymore. I like story based single player games that offer online if they do.
Are you
I'd say Horizon 2 for now.
are you still messing around with Fortnite? I know that you used to jump in there every once in a while. I just downloaded it on the PS5 again because apparently I can play with PS4 people. So you and I can, I guess, can
Yeah,
relink
cross
on.
platform. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, I'm not a Fortnite fan. I only force myself to play it if my other friends or you, if somebody wants to play it, I'm like, okay, it's a game we can play together. Because I don't have a lot of games that
Mm.
I can play with friends. Because I'm really picky on my games. I'm really picky. I'm like a woman who likes their shoes.
That's fair. I mean, I know you said you like single player games, so you're a person who really likes like the story of a
Yeah.
game. I'm not necessarily out there to be super competitive either. I like my games to make me feel something. So I totally understand where you're coming from in that respect, which is why I'm excited about the new technology that's coming out. Like people are making games
Yeah.
in Unreal Engine 5 now, which is making it so that your characters can be more expressive, so the environments can actually lend more to the storytelling. And I think that, like for instance, you're
Did
playing
you
Horizon
ever?
2. I need to get that. Oof.
Yeah, you do. Did you? You need to get not Shinobi. What am I saying? Nio 2. Wait, you have Nio 2, right?
No, I almost grabbed it the other day when it was on sale,
Oh,
the summer sale. I almost grabbed it. I was like,
dude, you have
punch
to
it.
do it. I need help getting further in that game. The Nio series. Oh, I hope there's a third one. I love yokai myth and lore and Japanese lore. Anything authentic Japanese like that, I love it. That game really hits it.
Then you and I might have to make a podcast episode talking about our love for the Japanese culture, man. That might have to be a thing because I would love to talk more about that,
We can talk about
especially
food,
with you having
architecture,
taken a
video
trip.
games, anything Japanese. We can talk. We don't have to talk about one specific thing. We can talk about all of it.
That's very true. That's very true.
Maybe
so
that'll be the
much.
next episode. Who knows?
It sounds like somebody
If it
wants to
sounds
guest.
fresh, why not have it while it's fresh in the mind? That's better yet. That's better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. There you go.
All right.
And this fool said one in the mind is worth two in the hand. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I
Well,
said that
I
in the
mean,
bedroom once.
you did.
No, but it sounds like something you can make dirty.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. Well,
Oh,
uh,
it's getting late again. Anthony's
two in the
getting
pink.
crazy.
There you go. No, well, no, I should stop. All right, man. You want to go ahead and take us out?
Yeah, well, this has been the Arguably Awesome podcast, and we're glad that you have listened to our episode 2, a jump into the metaverse of video games. This is A Card TV
And this is
and
Airflow Gaming.
yeah, they're Airflow. I don't even need it. He's right here.
Right there,
Um,
baby.
we hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've listened this far into it. That you could relate, that you got a little bit of a nostalgia flashback. Catch us on iHeartRadio. You know what? I'm gonna let him plug all that stuff because he knows better than I. He's
Ooh,
been
I
doing all the
love
work
plugging
behind the
stuff,
scenes.
brother. So
Do it.
basically, behind the scenes, you can find us iHeartRadio, Spotify, soon to be Pandora, Deezer, Slicker, Pocket Cast, Podcast Addicts. You can catch us everywhere. Player FM. We are all over the board. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that freaking notification bell so that you'll know exactly when we upload these episodes. And we want you to respond to us. Throw some stuff in the comment section so we know what's up. What do you want to hear from us? What would
Yeah.
you like to see? Like, don't be
Requests.
the
We can take
silent
requests
listener.
for topics.
Thank you, right? You can just go ahead and put it in the little request box, which, I mean, the comment section's the request box.
That's the comment section. Yeah.
And don't
Wish you had
DM
a
me.
box. Don't DM. Yeah, it'd be too many DMs.
All right, now we're running on, y'all. Thanks again. Seriously, it's been a pleasure recording for y'all, and can't wait to do this again soon. Look at us churning episodes out.
Sweet.
Be on the lookout probably sometime here next month for another upload from y'all. I mean, from us, truly. I don't even know where I was going with that, but sounds like I've
Actually,
been
it's
talking
already
long enough.
next month. It's already July 1st.
We'll see us later in the month, then, bitches.
Yeah. We'll be here. We'll be back. Maybe not on a regular schedule, but we'll try.
We're definitely gonna be more consistent than my YouTube channel.
Same here. Loading in bursts, you know?
Dude, no kidding.
All right, sweet. I blurred out for a second. I was about to fizzle out, evaporate. All right, thanks, everybody. Peace.
Ciao, Bella.